When meeting this year's 3 finalists for the prestigious Texas Farm Bureau Outstanding Young Farmer Rancher Award, you are struck by the single thought. These young men would be successful at virtually anything they endeavored to try. All had the chance to leave the farm and pursue other careers. They all stayed. Each of them is diversified in their operations. Each embraces change. All of them utilize technology. Without blinking an eye, they face the future with that special brand of optimism that is propelled by determination and hard work. And perhaps most important of all, these 3 young farmers and ranchers all have a partner that works, supports, and understands. Together they enjoy the rewards and share the sacrifices of this new generation of agricultural leaders. The 3 finalists for the 2007 Texas Farm Bureau Outstanding Young Farmer Rancher: Stephen and Jennifer Diebel of Victoria County, Jason and Kyla Dietrich of Falls County, Michael and Shay Goudeau of Wharton County. Now, let's meet the 3 finalists and their families on their operations. It's a glimpse of the future of Texas agriculture and of Texas Farm Bureau.
I'm 5th generation. Our family's been in the ranching business since the late 1800s, and I'm very fortunate to be that person that continues on that tradition.
Our first stop is the ranching operation of Stephen Diebel and his wife Jennifer. The word Stephen uses most to describe his life is fortunate, but clearly his good fortune was brought about by a solid agricultural education, careful planning, and hard work. Stephen and Jennifer run the family ranching enterprise near Victoria, helped by 3 little ranch hands, their children, Sarah, age 7, Julie, who is 4, and Clayton, 9 months.
Rice production was part of our enterprise, our family's enterprise in the late 70s and early 80s. We eventually phased the rice production out, and now we are 100% beef cattle production, whether it be a cow-calf operation or whether it be stocker enterprises. We have hay production as well. So that is kind of the process that has evolved, in the last 25 years. We're entertaining some wildlife issues to advance some economic returns back to the ranch. We do some joint feeding enterprises from a retained ownership point of view. We carry our calves all the way through the feeding phase. We can conduct pretty extensive feeding trials to determine carcass characteristics, and we are basically a very value-added system, and a system that we feel that we can get the most for our product.
Hard work is the constant companion of ranch life, and Stephen is no stranger to it. But he has also embraced technology to streamline the operation and improve the bottom line.
We're very conscious about producing the product that the end consumer wants. And in order to do that economically and efficiently, we need to learn how to manage our production records. Basically, that is a kind of a transition tool that we use to capture production records chute side, and we take those production records and enter those into our computer system, and inside that computer system we get to manipulate our numbers, and it just collects information on both our feeder calves but also our cow herd. We know what she's doing for us and how she economically is returning to the ranch.
Jennifer Diebel grew up in Houston, but it did not take this city girl long to fall in love with ranch life. She is grateful for the advantages it brings to her children.
Tell them they have the biggest backyard that they could ever hope for, and they have so many things here that they can do, and it's a beautiful place to live, and they have so many opportunities out here to ride horses and just to be outside and around nature.
Jennifer has taught elementary school in the Victoria area, but now she remains at home, taking care of the kids and filling a vital role in the ranch operation.
We have all the filing up here. We do all of the paperwork and the bill paying and keep track of all that kind of stuff. Whenever they work cows, he keeps track of all the tag and the ID numbers and all the information about the cows, and then I can go in and put it on a spreadsheet for him, and then he can use that in any of the software, the different things he needs it for.
This is what I was born to do, I think. I was raised ranching. Very, very fortunate to have the situation that I'm in. We continue to do the things that we're doing. We have to be progressive. We have to be conscious of the expenses that we have. We have to be cognizant of change. I think those that do not change don't survive in agriculture anymore. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but it seems like more thought needs to go in today's ranching and today's ag enterprises. It seems to me that that when you cut your workday a little bit short and you spend a little time in the office and spend a little time just thinking about what you're doing and how you do it, sometimes you get a little bit more done.
Stephen and Jennifer Diebel, the outstanding young farmer rancher finalist from Victoria County.
One of my fondest memories is every August when my grandpa used to pick corn with a one-row corn picker. It was my job to ride in the trailer and scoop the corn from the front of the trailer to the back, and I just enjoyed doing those kind of things.
The farming career of Jason Dietrich may have been born behind that corn picker, but he is a long way from that trailer today, running a diversified and completely state-of-the-art farming operation. Jason and Kyla Dietrich's farm is in the community of Otto in Falls County. Two boys, Kyson, age 3, and Colt, who is 4, like nothing better than following Dad into the fields. And very soon, a daughter will join the family. Jason's father, Ben, is a former winner of the Texas Farm Bureau's Young Farmer Rancher Award. Farming, you could say, is in Jason's blood.
I have 4 semi-trucks that I run year-round, where we haul grain for the public, and also that I'm a partner in a grain company where we buy grain all over the state of Texas. And my trucks haul all the grain that we buy to local feed users such as Sanderson Farms or Gore Brothers in Comanche. I'm farming 2,400 acres with one tractor. The tractor you see behind me, that is the only tractor that I own. In my financial situation, I try to pay for things when I buy them. I purchased the RTK system back in 2005. It's mainly used when I plant. It can be used when you plow. It's really an accurate system that takes care of the overlap and the waste that you would have on fertilizer, seed, fuel, as far as over plowing land, that you overlap too much. But the main thing that has been benefit to us is driver fatigue.
Kyla Dietrich is successful in her own right, a realtor and former winner of the Texas Farm Bureau discussion meet. But her heart and most of her time is on the farm. Much of her childhood was spent on a West Texas cotton farm.
I actually grew up speaking cotton, so now we're talking corn. It's been a learning experience. It's been a lot of fun. The biggest change, I think, for me has been the different seasons. In West Texas, you do things at totally different times of the year than you do here. But now I couldn't go back to cotton. I'm all about what we do here now. We are expecting our 3rd baby in 4 years, right at the very first of the year. So I'm going to take a step back from my occupation and raise babies and help Jason.
This image says a lot about the future of farming in the Dietrich family. Jason spends a lot of time thinking about and planning for that future. He's the 5th generation of the family in the Otto area, and he doesn't plan on being the last.
It's nice to know that I'm following the footsteps of my great-grandfather and my grandfather, and also, my dad, who's my mentor and teacher throughout the years. And it's something that I love to share with my boys, to let them know that, this is something that they want to do when they get older, that I'm going to try my best to be able to give the opportunity to do the same. We're making more money than we ever have, but it's costing us more money than it's ever cost us to put a crop in.
Equipment costs, seed cost, and especially the rising cost of energy are at the top of the list when Jason considers the expense of farming.
In my operation, a lot of the changes that I'm making is less plowing, more minimum tillage stuff, just for the simple fact that we can't continue to plow the land like we used to and be able to afford to do it with the fuel prices at the price that they are today.
We just know that our children are safe out here. Love that we can come out, we can play together. And it doesn't just mean we have to go sit in the backyard and play on the swing set or sit on the porch. To come outside means that we can go see the cows, we can go feed the heifers, we can jump on the gator and go throw rocks in the creek.
Jason and Kyla Dietrich, the outstanding young farmer rancher finalist from Falls County.
Well, we've got our biggest operation is our commercial hay business, which we sell horse quality hay to Houston and the surrounding areas. To complement that business, we have a custom application business to do all our custom application, spraying and fertilizing. And we do some outside work for farmers and ranchers to help pay those bills on that farming equipment.
Michael and Shay Goudeau farm and ranch in the Wharton County community of Hungerford. It's an area where the giant city of Houston creeps ever closer. but that brings Michael's primary market, hungry horses, closer to him. There are 2 little hay haulers in the family. Logan is 7 and Reagan is 3.
Daddy and I loaded up in a pickup truck one day, probably 15 years ago. Went to Houston, tried to convince everybody to buy a little bit of our hay. Soon, a little bit here, a little bit there, orders came in. We started out delivering everything by hand. We baled 212,000 bales last year, which was our biggest year. There was a big demand for it all over the state, and we had a good year. Rains were good. This year we had too much rain. We had probably 30 days of rain. We're down to we'll bale 140,000 bales this year probably.
Baseball scholarships paid for the college educations of both Michael and his brother. Putting that education to work in nearby Houston was strongly considered, but the lure of the land was too strong.
There wasn't much money around here when I got out of college. My plans were to go try to make some, find some, or seek some out. But glad I settled here. I'm here with my mom and dad, my brother, his kids. It's a family operation. Couldn't get any better.
The same was true of Michael's brother, Robert, who left coaching and teaching to join the family operation. It was certainly true of Shay Guto, a ranch girl with rodeo in her blood.
I started riding before I could walk and rodeoing at 3 and working cattle with my dad and then helping him in the hayfield and driving tractors for him and probably moving equipment before I could see over the steering wheel.
Shay is making a go of professional rodeo and has been on the road some pursuing that career. The family ranch, tied to the tradition of the J.D. Hudgens ranching heritage, is all about family.
I'm not sure that we would have stayed together. I don't know if I could have handled the Houston life.
Shay is kidding about that, we think, but it's clear that both the Goudeaus know they are where they're supposed to be.
Luckily, we did wind up here. Like I said, I tried it. I tried to do the job thing and use the degree and that. And, it just didn't make me happy. And Michael was fortunate enough to have his dad ask him to stick around and help on the farm for a while, and not knowing it would turn into the business it has.
Michael represents the family on the board of the J.D. Hudgens Ranch, along with the multiple enterprises of his own. Michael speaks of his success in terms of family, and the common description is one of hard work.
Ancestors came here probably in the 1860s, and in 1908 they formed J.D. Hudgens Incorporated, and that's the ranch that most of the ranch land came from. And then we have also my oldest brother. We have a family partnership that we trade commercial cattle, and we buy and raise anywhere from 500 to 800 mama cows is what we run, and we market them through his auction barn there in Navasota.
Michael has shaped the operation based on external forces that impact on the ranch. These include urban sprawl and the exploding recreational horse industry.
New ideas. You've got to keep changing, keep improving. And that's what you see when you're out there meeting people. If you just stayed right here on the farm the whole time, you just kind of do your same thing you've always done. And we've adapted quite a bit in the last 6-7 years to from what we started with. And I think that's due to kind of getting out there and seeing what everyone else is doing and kind of being progressive in what we're doing. Michael and Shay Goudeau, the outstanding young farmer rancher finalist from Wharton County. They hold the future of agriculture in their hands. These 3 finalists for Texas Farm Bureau's Outstanding Young Farmer Rancher. Common themes run through their operations: the embrace of technology, flexibility, adaptability, and above all, hard work. It's a future they see as bright, though challenging. They see obstacles as opportunities, and their leadership is a signpost pointing toward the future of Farm Bureau and Texas agriculture. Now, let's meet the winner, the Outstanding Young Farmer Rancher of Texas.